Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Good morning, good morning. It is time for Naturally Inspired Radio, a Monday morning. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. I know. It's like the end of winter. Something crazy is going on because it's like actually already spring. We have birds a-buzzing. We got bees buzzing. Like what? I don't know what's going on. Now we've got a lot of concern here in Colorado that we're not going to have enough moisture. But you know what? I'm just going to take it day by day here because I'm enjoying it. We went on a fantastic hike yesterday. It was beautiful. Shorts, guys. I was in shorts hiking, So it's February, so middle of February. Wow. I don't know what to say. But I'm just going to take it and enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to pray for moisture. I'm going to pray that because I know our farmers need moisture. I know we need moisture because, we get the threat of forest fires as well, right? So Lord only knows how those start these days. But, so that could be a real concern here. We could be getting prepped for some disaster. So I'm going to pray that that's not the case, that it's just one of those years where we're going to get a lot of rain in the spring. I'm going with that. Okay? I'm going with that. Anyway, I'm so glad you're joining me today. A beautiful day. Lots of stuff going on. I had the chance to kind of poke around and look at some things of interest that I brought for you here today. We got to talk about this because, Jason and I have conversations all the time, of course, ongoing. We're talking about this, we're talking about that. I go on other podcasts. We have, conversations with other podcasters. I often do. What's your take? What's your take? And, I think the thing that is just not settling right with me is how we are responding to the horror of, like, say, the Epstein files, right? I mean, I'm talking about all the corruption in general, but like the Epstein files are obviously, like, they're horrific. Now, fair enough. Like, I've known this has been going on for a long time. Like a long time. I don't know, 15 years, 16 years, maybe longer, that this, satanic ritual cult actually performed rituals and sacrificed things and humans. Unfortunately, I've known this for a long time. And at first, I didn't want to believe it. Like at anybody else, you don't want to believe it. But then it keeps showing up. And it keeps showing up. And it shows up like in historical texts. And it shows up in a little soundbite somewhere. And then it shows up again. And then it shows up again. And then it keeps showing up. And pretty soon, you can't ignore it anymore. At least that's how it happened for me. Kept showing up in books I would read, kept showing up in movies, documentaries, people I would meet. Like, I just couldn't ignore it anymore. So I get what a lot of people are going through because this is new to them. And I also get, like, what maybe you and I are going through. We've known this has been the case for a long time. And it's kind of like a strange place to be because you've known this for, long time. And now everybody knows it. And it's like everybody's kind of paralyzed, I feel like. I feel like everybody's paralyzed. Like, what do we do from here? Well, thankfully, I've been telling you this. When you really want to know the truth about how everybody's feeling, and maybe some people are having a hard time articulating how they're feeling, you go to the comedians. You go to your comedians. And of course, I went and visited my favorite comedian right now, Tim Dillon. He is so hilarious. And he's so hilarious because I feel like he listens. He listens to us and he's one of us. So he knows he's feeling the same way because we're all like more alike than we're not. And so I brought some clips with you today because I think they are just so spot on. And listen, everybody, the Dow is up. The Dow is up. This is Tim Dillon. Listen.
The things that are in these documents will unravel governments. So let's take a look here at Pam Bondi.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming.
That's right.
That's what we
Who
should
cares
be
that we
talking
kidnapped
about.
their children? What does it matter? Who cares that we kidnapped their... The Dow is up. The Dow's up. Who cares that we snatched your kids and took them to an island to abuse them? The Dow is up. So what? So what? We're part of an ancient blood cult. The Dow is up. So what? We perform sacrifices to deities so that we can have their power. The Dow is up. You know what the NASDAQ's doing? The blue chips, the S&P 500. Why don't you shut your mouth about the kids that we abducted and sacrificed so we can please Lucifer or Baal? So what? The Dow is up. So what? We worship Baal. Maybe you should thank Baal for the Dow being at 50,000. You're a pretty good stock trader, Raskin. From what I hear, maybe instead of angering Baal, you thank Baal. Thank Baal for what he's done for American 401ks. Baal has done more for the S&P 500 than Joe Biden did.
His impression there. His impression there is just priceless. It's dead on. Listen, I think what we have here is, well, first of all, this proves my point, everybody. This proves my point. The people, the citizenry of America, I love them. I love the citizenry of this country because we're all concerned about the children. We're concerned about what is happening here, But our government infrastructure is not designed to care about our patriotism. It's not designed to care about our values. It's not designed to care about our morals. It's designed for money. And it's designed for power. And, our guy may be in the office right now, but the agenda is the same. And that is money and power. Because if America is not got the most money and got the most power, then the whole thing doesn't work anymore. Right? America needs to be the number one superpower in the world. And the world runs on money, and the person who has the most money has the most power. And so when I say, look at everything, kind of like your Tony Soprano, what would Tony Soprano do here? What would maybe even less emotional than Tony Soprano, if you could get less emotional than Tony Soprano. That's what we're dealing with here. So it doesn't make sense to us because we look at it like we don't really care about the Dow. Really? We don't care about the Dow. I don't care about the Dow. I care that people would suffer from the Dow not being high. But listen, the globalist elite who run our country and internationally, the power players internationally, the globalist elite, they're a cult. They harness energy, very real energy, and they use it for their benefit, and they weaponize it against us and anything that stands in their way from mass control. And what we have here is evidence that this is taking place. So, Pam Bondi, she's in the throes of it. She's in the dynamics. You know how I always talk about the compartmentalization of the tech bros, right? Like all they can see is AI. I'm developing AI. We're developing robots. We're doing this. Yes, we're going to solve death. Yes. That's called compartmentalization, right? And to be really successful at what you're doing, you kind of need that obsession and that focus. But that's what we have in our government. They are focused on being a superpower. They are focused on making sure that America remains the superpower. That's why she has no qualms about saying, the Dow is up. You say you don't care about the Dow? What are you talking about? This is so crazy to them. It's the same thing in the tech industry. You don't care about artificial intelligence? What? Well, China's going to get us. You're crazy. Well, that's because some of us are still attached to our souls, right? We're not so compartmentalized because we move through the world. And we see other human beings and we see suffering and we want to know why. How horrible would this can't possibly be true. So we want to know about it. Sacrificing children, cannibalism, satanic cult, it's up here. The Dow might be down a few notches. FYI, Pam Bondi and the rest. Here's Tim Dillon, who explains more. We'll go to one more clip before we go to break. Check this out.
You are getting a glimpse into how the ruling class deals with each other. And a lot of them, yes, evil, yes, soulless, but also we can't forget kind of retarded. Not the smartest. a lot of dad jokes, a lot of dumb shit. Like, you're not impressed with a lot of these emails. You're kind of like disturbed that like these are retarded, cannibal, pedophile Satanists. You're like, oh, this is not the, like, even the Luciferians have got to be like they're like, well, these people are kind of like, look, do you think that's a discussion they have? Like the Luciferian elite? Do you think they're even like the new people are just, I mean, these people, it ain't what it used to be. It ain't what it, because nothing is. So even in the satanic blood cult, it still has to be, they're like, there's these people, they don't even know how to run their home. They don't even know how to run their estates. So many times I'll get a call from someone going, can you help me out? There's blood in the barn. You know, they burned down like 2 of their houses on their property in a ritual. These people just, they don't have it. They don't have it like we used to have, because these are the conversations that are happening, by the way, with the Luciferian elite somewhere in Switzerland.
We laugh particularly hard at this because Jason says this all the time, that the Bush seniors, you know, the Soros, the real nasty people, they had a grit, you know, a ruthless grit, and they didn't make mistakes. And this new generation, well, like I said, sometimes it blows my mind because there are some major gaps here in intellect and capability, lack of experience. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio, and it's Monday.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Hey, I know a few of you now are watching us on YouTube. Yay! Welcome, welcome. We have a couple watchers on YouTube. Thank you guys for being there. Thank you guys for being there. Follow us on YouTube. Share it with a friend. You can search us up at Naturally Inspired Radio. So when I'm listening to this podcast with Tim Dillon, I was laughing out loud because I'm like, fine, somebody please call Tim, let him know I want to do lunch. I want to do lunch with Tim Dillon. I just feel like we could totally relate here, and make us all feel a little less crazy, you know? He totally gets it. He gets it. And I would just really enjoyed listening to this because it proves my point, you know, that because over the years, you know, and I'm sure you've dealt with this. Over the years, you know, you try to explain to people, you know, the world's not maybe what you think it is. Right? You throw that little line in the pond there and see how, well, what do you mean by that? Well, you know, I don't know. It could be run by Luciferian Satan cult members. Oh, you're not one of those, are you? Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Why, yes, I am. And then, you know, it gets a little quiet. And now here we are. And it's being discussed everywhere. I mean, the biggest podcast in the world is, I think, still Joe Rogan. And he recently had a filmmaker on. Who was it? It was Avery. I think his last name is Avery. Anyway, he made Pulp Fiction with Quentin Tarantino, and he very openly says, "Oh yes, you know, they're sacrificing people right now in LA." Making sacrifices, actually. I stand corrected. He said they're making sacrifices. There's a very popular singer right now, very popular singer, the very top of the list there, who routinely sacrifices chickens and whatnot to right there in LA. So again, here it is again. Oh, yes, another person. I mean, how, I can't even tell you all the people, followers, or influencers. I don't know, call them influencers. I would say filmmakers, documentary makers, writers, authors, speakers I have encountered through the last 20 years or so that just seem to have all the same story. They just all have the same story. And it's just like, oh, well, I guess that's just tinfoil hat stuff, right? Now we have actual evidence, emails. And so many people say to you throughout the years, yeah, but how could everybody be in on it? Well, let me tell you how. This is how the world works. This is how the world works. These people are so rich, they don't even know how they're making their money. They don't even know. Daddy's corporation was sold into private equity. The private equity owns 70 other businesses. They're all, do you remember Wayfair? Remember that? Sometimes I just sit back and I go, wow, remember when that happened and nothing happened? If I'll just refresh your memory here, there was a website called Wayfair. I think it's still in business, right? And sometimes you could go and you could order up kids on it. Do you remember that? Does everybody remember Wayfair? Did that just What about the underground tunnels? Those are kind of uncomfortable, right? Remember the underground tunnels that were located in New York and stuff? And they just found a bunch of high chairs and soiled mattresses and everything right there in the open. And, we had footage of it. And then, beep, nothing happened. I don't think it's going to happen that way this time. But I do think we're in this stalled period where it's kind of it's almost like we don't even know what to do. We don't even know what to do. So I think Tim Dillon did a great job of explaining some of this. Let's listen. I have another clip here. Take a listen. Tim Dillon again.
The island, I know exactly what he's doing. Do you want his number? That's worst case. Worst case, they go, oh, you need his number? I have his number. Best case, they go like this. Somebody goes, I hear there's a guy, that Jeffrey guy that we met. He's a shady guy. He's involved with trafficking women and children. This is what they do with the coffee. Ready? Huh. Do it again. You just heard that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking women and children. You're in Aspen, Colorado. Fresh coat of powder on the hills, on the mountains, fresh coat of powder on the mountains. You're sipping coffee at the lodge. You hear 9 a.m., Jeffrey Epstein trafficking women and children. Somebody tells you, you know that guy Jeffrey we met? He's trafficking women and children. Your response. Huh. That's what it was. That's what it is. What do you think they're going to do? Well, let's call the FBI right now. Let's interrupt our vacation and launch a crusade to destroy this billionaire and ourselves in the process, because we're heroes. Heroes in Aspen. We've got it. We're heroes. Most of these people, their money's fake. They know it's fake. They know it's fake. They know it's fake. They don't even know how they're that rich, half these people. God forbid this thing starts to boomerang on them.
Bingo. How are they all in on it? Listen, have you ever caught anybody in a lie? Have you ever caught anybody in a lie? I mean, this is being a truth teller. I don't know what you call it, a truth teller. Being confrontational, maybe facing people that are just living a bold-faced lie. And you just look at them and you go, yeah, what's going on there? And they look at you like, oh, I don't know. Right? So I've seen that look before once or twice throughout my life. I'm 50 now. So I've seen that look a few times in my lifetime. And that look is, oh my gosh. I wonder if this involves this company. I wonder if this involves, my uncle's business or they're all tied in. I mean, just look at private equity. We have seen the centralization of our food supply. We've seen the centralization of so much business, health insurance, right? Like it's endless. Everything is owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, right? Everything. So when they go, they're thinking, holy crap, my stuff's going to come crumbling down if this comes out. And this is precisely why it has not come out, because everybody's got their finger in the pot, people. You're a billionaire, you're a millionaire, and you don't really do too much. You just invest, you're invested. You do not want that gravy train to stop. Like Tim Dillon says, you think they're going to stop in Aspen and just be like, let's call the FBI because by all means, let's shut down my gravy train. No, we're not in that club, you and I. Thank God. Thank God we're not in that club. But it takes a little understanding. Like, these things now are so intertwined that you can't separate them. Everything is so intertwined. Like, that's why I call it the megacorp. It is the megacorp. They even own each other. Vanguard owns BlackRock. BlackRock owns Vanguard. Like, it's more than incestuous at this point. And nobody wants it to stop. But there's a huge problem here because the big broker, the deal broker, the broker of all deals possibly, is Jeffrey Epstein. And he's not a smart guy, but he's a very personable guy. And he was able to weasel his way into people's lives, grab dirt on them, and then suddenly he becomes able, in a position, to broker almost any deal, even internationally. And we know, based on Whitney Webb's work, I know, reading Whitney Webb's work, that this doesn't just go into sex trafficking. This is arms dealing. This is possibly, allegedly, a lot of other things. And so this has tentacles everywhere. And so it's like, they're concerned about the Dow, okay? They're concerned about the economy. They're concerned about the financial ramifications of this house of cards falling. But those of us who have different values, right, where, maybe the Dow is a little lower on the list, we care that there aren't pedophiles hurting our children, right? That's what's priority to us. And, they've tried many times to desensitize us to the pedophile thing, right? Oh, it's the man boy thing, right? Or, hey, it's minor attraction. There are people too. No, they aren't. Let's just get this straight. There's no. And the citizenry pretty much reflected that. Any attempt they have made to normalize pedophilia has been rejected. We're not going to accept it. And so, here we sit, right, on the verge of this massive exposure. And we're going to find out how everybody is going to deal with that. Still have some people who are in denial, I think, for the large part. So we'll just have to see, how it comes out. But I'm not the only one feeling this way. That's for sure. I happened to catch Owen Schroyer's little profound monologue over the weekend that I want to share with you after the break. He hits the nail on the head too. So this is what this tells me. People with souls are understanding, we're connected. We understand what's going on in the world and we're connected. And there are still people who are connected to God and are feeling this way. So if you feel that way, I want you to know today, you're not alone. We know. and we feel it too. Stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Thank you so much for supporting our community. We appreciate you. If you haven't yet made a purchase from Naturally Inspired, I invite you to do that. We have a wonderful partner product line, which I absolutely love. Every time I try something new, I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this. So you too can benefit from a wonderful product line and support our community. There's so many benefits to that. Just go to naturallyinspiredstore.com. Every Tuesday night, we do a weekly wellness workshop. You have access as my customer to my health text line. I'm texting people all the time, sending them information, helping them find their pathway to optimum health. That is what I do. And so you can join us at naturallyinspiredstore.com today. Just make a purchase. You'll hear from me. Soon after you make a purchase, you get a little text from me, a little welcome text, and you can learn more about the community there. All right, so Owen Schroyer, who we know, and listen, before anybody says anything about anything, like I want to say, like, I didn't grow up on Alex Jones, okay, but I think we were in our probably late 20s when Jason found Alex Jones, and maybe early 30s, maybe. So it's been a long haul with Alex Jones. We've met Alex Jones. We love Alex Jones. I don't know what's going on with Alex Jones right now. I couldn't tell you. That's my honest opinion. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's going through something. And I'm not judging him. I'm not whatever, right? But Owen's now on his own. Owen Schroyer's on his own. And he's had some really thoughtful little monologues that he's posted lately where I'm like, oh yeah, this is precisely how I feel as well. Anyway, he did such thing this weekend. It was like a 20-minute monologue. So I could bring you a couple clips, and they're kind of long. So just a couple of minutes longer than I normally like to make a clip. But he was just fleshing out his ideas as he was talking and the way he was feeling. I thought, our community needs to hear this, because this is exactly how I think many of us are feeling right now. So Owen Schroyer, take a listen.
At this point, I think what we're about to learn in a very undeniable way, which is going to be crazy because a lot of people are going to deny it. You kind of already see it happening. You're going to see some of the most sordid, disgusting, it's like the worst things imaginable, and probably even beyond, even stuff that we can't even comprehend. I think it's all going to come out. It's the Epstein files, and it's going to be beyond. It's all going to come out. At this point, it's just inevitable. I don't know what the delivery mechanism is going to be. I don't know what the timetable is going to be. I don't even know if it's intentional or not. I can't tell if it's supposed to be happening or if they thought they could cover it up. But to me, at this point, it's all coming out. It's all going to come out. It's going to be undeniable. And that's why I just find it so funny that people are just like making a joke of it, or it's just like, oh, it's just the latest trend, or it's like, oh, let's find a way to spin it for my audience, or for my jokes, my humor, my comedy. Oh, I'm going to get one over on somebody. Oh, you know, I'm smarter. No, I think it's all going to come out. And I'm also wondering if it's almost part of a demoralization thing, if it's almost part of this elite class, like, reasserting themselves, where it's like, look, we can even show you. Like, here you go. Here's the secret world of the elites. Here's all the stuff that we do. Here it is. Here's why the world is so corrupt. And you're not going to do anything. You're going to stay slaves. You're going to keep working and paying 33% of your wages. You know, there's going to be no real upward mobility for you and your lineage. You're trapped here. And then once we kind of go through that assertion, then they're going to bring in the AI surveillance state and make it permanent and turn it into a complete new thing. And, you know, what I find funny is it's like, we all kind of know this, right? I mean, aside from all the politics and all the jokes and all the wise guy stuff, it's like, don't we all agree that the world is corrupt? Like, don't we all agree that something is wrong here? Like this, it's like we all kind of feel it, like, right? We still have a soul. Like, our soul is still screaming, our spirit is still like tugging, and it's like, you know, this isn't how it's supposed to be. Something is off. It's just like, doesn't it? I thought we all agreed, like, something just feels off here. This isn't right. And so then it's like, okay, here you go. It's like, all right, here it is. And then it becomes like wise guy cracks and politic cracks and cult of personalities. So, hey, whatever, man. But it's like, yeah, we all agree, like, the world is corrupt. Like, everything's corrupt. It's like, well, here's why. And then it's just like, oh, let's make wise guy cracks and let's make it about politics. And okay. But I wonder if it's almost being done before the big AI surveillance grid, you know, permanent underclass society, to just reassert it and just be like, yeah, we really do own them. They really are slaves. They've accepted it. So now bring it in. Or if this is finally the big revelation, whether wittingly or not, and humanity is going to finally break free and take back its future and take back its destiny. It feels like that's where we're at, honestly. And so
that's exactly it. That's what it feels like. Listen, at the beginning of this video, he starts off talking about politics, and he's like, I don't even care about politics anymore. And of course, Owen's always reported on politics, you know, but he feels it deeper in him. There's a bigger issue here, right? And it's kind of like what I'm always talking about, like how we do have an opportunity right now, right? Like he's like, we're either gonna continue to be distracted. Listen, you're never going to be in their club. Don't do their dirty work. Do you know what I'm saying? You're following the news stories. People are following the news stories. Rah, 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 my team, my team, my team. There are no teams. Our work is out here in the trenches, if you will. That's where our work is. Uniting the citizenry. That's where we need to pay attention. When I talk about going inward, developing your higher faculties so that you can, you know, we can all come together and make the right decisions at the right time, because we know we're in it together. Like you're never crossing over to their team. You're not going to. You don't have any value to them. I'm sorry to say that, but you don't. We are but a tool. The body of citizenry is a tool for these globalist elites to maneuver. Come my way, be on my side, you know, support climate change. Oh, it just so happens all your products are related to climate change, right? Yeah, come on over here. See, climate change, climate change, climate change. And then on the right, you have these people. Oh, you know, it's all about the flag and the patriotism. And yeah, but for what? They're weaponizing that. They're weaponizing that against you for their agenda. Listen, our power's between you and I. Our power's us, our numbers. So we can be like, okay, what are you offering here? Yeah, I don't think so. I know what you're up to there. What are you offering over here? Okay, this is a little bit better. Okay, we can maybe get down with some of that, but not all of it, right? Not all of it. That's why we've got to stick together. That's why we have to stick together. It can't be about left and right anymore. Listen, there's an agenda here, even on the right, right? America's the biggest, best, economically sound country in the world. Are you a billionaire? Is that affecting you? It's for them. Okay. They have design, they have plan, they want to develop the Gaza Strip, put in the first smart city. Listen, I'm not, it doesn't matter. We are living in a different realm. Yeah. The world is better under Trump for sure than it was under Biden. Yes. But listen, both have their agendas. Both have their agendas. Which world do you want to live in? Well, yeah, I'd rather live in this world, right? Way, way more. But we have an opportunity to develop, right? Where what Owen's talking about here. We are either going to, develop our own faculties, higher faculties, and really shape the culture of our country, or we're going to continue to let this satanic cult shape the culture of our country when they push celebrities out in front of us and we go, oh yeah, I just love them. What about you? What about your neighbor? I'm tired of it. Aren't you tired of it? It's all distraction when what we should really be focusing on is how we're being models in the world, right? How we're taking care of our health, teaching our kids how to take care of our health so they're powerful, so they're strong, teaching our kids how to interact with other people so their experience through life is pleasant. Gosh, just this yesterday morning, I was talking to my daughter and, she's away at a conservatory for dance and they were hanging out last night. And of course, politics comes up. There's arguing on politics and everything. Like, these kids are there to learn dance. All this is fake. Left, right, this cause, that cause. It's all fake. And now we have some girls that, are dancing together, fighting over politics. It's all fake. We want our kids to have a pleasant experience through life as best we can, right? Because that's all we really have here. We're having an experience. So why do we want to make it, hateful and divisive and what do you want? What do you want? How can we come together on this? Because really, the elites don't give one iota about us. They care about the Dow. The Dow is up, everybody. Make it make sense. Stay tuned because your naturally inspired moment is up next. I have more to say about this topic too, which I'm sure will continue over in the next hour. Naturally Inspired Radio. See you in a minute.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Is your health on your mind? Are you kind of searching for better solutions? Maybe you've been told you can't make a difference. Take this pill, have this procedure. It's just another pill, another pill. If that's you, listen. Work with me for better results. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com, book your free assessment with me. Let's just sit down and have a conversation. You know, tell me the history of what's been going on. And I guarantee I can give you at least one little bit of information that will change the way you look at your health. So book today at naturallyinspiredstore.com, a free assessment with me. Work with me for better health. All right, let's get to our naturally inspired moment, because goodness, we need it after this opener, you know. So I was telling you about, you know, what was going on a little bit there with my daughter. And so this inspired my naturally inspired moment for today, just my discussion with her. You know, again, like young girls, like arguing over politics and like this worldview that they are growing up in is coming from social media. And so most of it is not true. And it's not their fault. You know, they've been so exposed to propaganda and repetitive propaganda, and their feelings have been weaponized. Their kindness has been weaponized, you know. And there's another thing going on too, though. And I think it's really important that we identify this. And I know many of you know this, but there's a victim mindset going on. You know, and again, through social media, that's kind of been propped up. Like an identity can't just be like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm a girl and I'm this old and I'm that, you know, just like the regular facts anymore. Identity comes with some sort of trauma diagnosis, you know, like this happened to me and now this becomes part of my identity, or this is my diagnosis, like ADHD or what, or you know, bipolar or whatever. It's these diagnoses are becoming part of their identity, because somewhere along our culture, we have really put a lot of value and attention on victims. And somehow that message has gotten to our young, not somehow, we know how. School, right? You want to be special in school? Make yourself weird. How do you make yourself weird? I don't know, maybe a diagnosis or gender dysphoria or something. Like, how weird can I be? Can I be a cat? Will that get me? That's got it. Everyone will really be looking at me if I'm a cat. Somehow this is how we've taught our children, right? And so everybody has a victim story, and it's very unhealthy. It's very, very unhealthy, because we're getting to the point now where, there's a lot of trauma dumping going on, right? Like sharing trauma. And if you don't have a trauma identity, by golly, we're going to give you one. You know, you need one. Well, let's search your files. What could have possibly, like, it's crazy out there, people. It's crazy. And so with this, you know, culture of being a victim and trying to identify as something of importance and value that people will watch in the attention economy of social media, it's made people really want, you know, to be tempted to identify with some kind of victimization. I call it the victim Olympics, right? Well, if you think that's bad, look at what happened to me, right? Like, it's just one up you. And the problem with that is like, you can't be empowered when you're in a victim state. And if you wake up every day and you think, you know, I'm such and such with ADHD, well, then your day is controlled by your ADHD. Right? You got a filter on, like, I'm so-and-so with ADHD. So, oh, that's my ADHD. Oh, I spilled my pop. It's my ADHD. Oh, I tripped over my shoes. It's my ADHD. Oh, I couldn't do well in this class. That's my ADHD. Do you see what I'm saying? This has got to stop. This has got to stop. You're enough. And I think that's the saddest thing about it, is because everywhere we look, we're being signaled to that we're not enough. You're not enough with your thin lips. You got to have your big lips. You're not enough with your regular colored hair. You've got to have the bleach blonde hair. You're not enough with your little butt. You've got to have a big butt. It's never enough. And it's to the point now for me, when I see this kind of behavior, I just feel sad. I just feel sad. And I want to tell people, you're enough. You're enough. You're enough exactly how you are. You're enough. You're enough. Now, can you grow? Yes. But it's time to look inward to figure out what's important to me? What am I interested in? You want to be special? Develop that. Develop that. Stop trying to make yourself special on the outside by being weird. That doesn't make you special. So today's Naturally Inspired, what I want to talk about is victim mode. I want to give you some tips to kind of identify victim mode, maybe in other people, and even in ourselves, because we're living in this society too. It's easy to get pulled into it. So I want to bring awareness around it. 5 ways to maintain a forward-moving mindset, right? A growth mindset, one that keeps you out of victim mode and firmly in your personal power, because you have tons of personal power. Number 1, radical ownership. So victim mode will ask, who did this to me? Who did this? Somebody's out to get me, right? Where growth and personal power would say, what can I do with this? What can I do? Okay, this has happened. Now what can I do? You don't have to approve of what happened to you to take responsibility for what happens next. Ownership is the moment you stop bleeding energy and start building momentum. End every complaint with a choice you will make. This is so important that everybody understands that when people do you wrong, if an abuser has abused you, you taking personal responsibility for what comes next does not absolve them of the abuse. It does not, whoever did you wrong does not get absolved of whatever they did wrong because you now choose to take personal responsibility. That's not how it works. They will always be an abuser of you, and they were always wrong. But in order to move forward and grow and turn your life into something that you love and enjoy and want to live, you must take personal responsibility. There's no other way. We cannot wait for other people to fix us. Number 2, separate facts from the story you're telling. Facts are neutral, right? Stories create suffering in us. So a fact is, this didn't work. A story is, this has always happened to me. I can't win. See the difference? The second sentence is optional and destructive. So practice this when you feel stuck. What is the verifiable fact here? Remove the emotion narrative and act from truth. Number 3, refuse to rehearse helplessness. What you repeatedly say becomes what you repeatedly live. Replaying why something is hard trains your nervous system to stay small, to stay unstable. Rehearsing solutions trains it to move forward. For every problem you mention, name one micro action you can take in the next 24 hours. Rehearsing solutions. So instead of waking up in the morning and thinking, oh, I'm going to have a hard time doing this because of my ADD or my ADHD, change it. You're equipped. You're powerful. This doesn't control you. This is not your identity. Use discomfort as feedback, not proof. Discomfort does not mean you're failing. It often means you're expanding. Victim mode interprets discomfort as danger, and a growth mindset interprets it as data. So when something feels hard, say, this is information, not a verdict. because that's exactly what it is. Nobody's an expert when they're new. Nobody's an expert when they're new. So if you're trying something new, say you're on a new path to optimum health, like, maybe you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight and you're getting healthy, you're making different food choices. If you wake up every day and tell yourself, I'm a heavy person, I've never been an athletic person, I'm not athletic, if you keep telling yourself that story, well, that's exactly what you're going to get more of. You know what? You're an athletic person in training. I'm in training. I'm eating different. I have to order differently because I'm in training. I don't care how big you are. If you are eating different and you are moving different, you're in training. So instead of saying, I'm not an athlete, well, I've never been athletic, I've never been this, I've never been one. No, you're in training now. Chop, chop. You're in training. You're in training. Stop identifying with things that sink you. If you really want change, stop identifying with labels that create the same results. Once you become aware of this, you will be amazed at how much you do it and you don't even realize. It's the way our society's built up. It's not your fault. It's just the way our patterns are repeated. Anchor identity in capability, not circumstance. So victim mindset ties identity to what's happening. Empowered mindset ties identity to who you are becoming. Circumstances change, everybody. We all know that. If one thing's guaranteed, it's that nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Capability compounds. So ask daily, what would the capable version of me do today, even if it's uncomfortable? If it's a workout, if it's a meal, if it's a discussion that you have to have with somebody that you're nervous about, what's the version of me that's capable of doing this? What do they look like? What am I capable of? Step into that identity. You're stepping into this old label all the time. I think some people think, well, that's not authentic. I can't pretend to be somebody else. Well, you're pretending to be somebody right now with ADD. What is ADHD, right? What is it? What is it? It's a label with a laundry list of symptoms. You're pretending to be that. You're fitting into that every day. It's time to break out of those labels. Yeah, maybe you don't have the best attention span. Guess what? That can be worked on. That can be developed. One of the best things you can do is stop with the inputs, right? Give yourself time every day to not be taking in information. So many different things that you can do. Listen. Victimization isn't helping anybody. Do not tie your identity to a negative label. Walk into your power. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com. Or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites. And click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Hey, if you missed the first hour, you got to go back and check it out. We're talking about this strange place we find ourselves right now, in between. I think the full like full spectrum. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like more and more people are waking up to how the world actually works and understanding, that there is like a worship going on here, a Luciferian, sadistic cult. And they happen to have a lot of money and power and kind of run the world. And this is more and more, I guess, full velocity. Maybe velocity is the word I'm looking for. I'm not sure. Like the full weight of it is starting to come down, where more people are understanding it. Even, the normies, as we call them, right? The non-tinfoil hat people are starting to realize, holy crap, like this is real? This is real? Yes, it's real. It's real. And just what a weird, space we find ourselves, a lot of us, that, politics isn't, politics is always going to be going on, but it may not be necessarily where our focus should be right now, given that we're headed into this kind of new frontier of the digital revolution and how we're going to operate as humans within that new way of life, right? Where AI is so prevalent and we have general purpose robots and, we need our faculties about us. And this political game is all fake. It all comes down to who can make more money when and how fast. That's what it comes down to. And so we're better off spending our time developing ourselves and creating better environment for our kids that are coming up behind us. Taking personal responsibility for shaping the culture. So we're talking about that, but I do want to get back to a couple things here before we move on. I want to go back to Owen and finish up there before we get to our Americana stuff today. And I also wanted to tell you that we have a wonderful special on for you with blood sugar. I was on another podcast yesterday and I put together a pack because a lot of people are dealing with insulin resistance. And so I wanted to make sure that was available for you today. I think we still have that packet available. So if, I've been talking about insulin resistance a lot. I believe it's the core problem in America right now when it comes to health. So I put together just a little super pack for you guys that you can grab at naturallyinspiredstore.com. So I wanted to let you know about that. I also have a free ebook that comes with that. So you can get an ebook that will explain all the things about insulin resistance. So head on over to naturallyinspiredstore.com. Pick up the free ebook, pick up the super pack there for dealing with blood sugar. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, I wanted to just share with you a little testimony. I'm getting more and more testimonies that people send in. And this one happens to come from somebody in our community that explained that they decided to try the BioCell collagen and it's made a huge difference for them. They've been able to lower their medication intake. And it's done wonderful for their skin as well. And so they're ordering more. And I'm glad that she took the risk. I understand you've tried a lot of things. And so you see things and you're like, I don't know, is that going to work? That's kind of the first thinking, right? Oh, I don't know, is that going to work? I'm telling you, a lot of everything I promote works because I use it myself. I know it gets people results, and I know it gets people in my community results. So take advantage of those things. I got my cellular reset right here. I'm having myself a little cellular reset Vivix this morning. I love it. I can't go without it. It's just huge when it comes to inflammation. I mean, I did a good workout yesterday and I feel a little bit stiff, but not near what I would feel like if I wasn't taking that, it's a real lifesaver. So dealing with inflammation, if you've got inflammation in your face, a lot of assessments I've been talking to people with tell me, they're concerned about inflammation underneath the eyes, in their extremities, in their hands, in their feet. If you're feeling tight, that's inflammation. You need to get on top of it and get some polyphenols, get the Vivix today. So I wanted to get those announcements out. And then let's go back to Owen, because I tell you, he did this about 20-minute little monologue over the weekend here. And he hit on a lot of things that I think are very profound. So let's go back to that. And then we'll get to our American moment, if you will. So take a listen. This is Owen Schroyer.
Kind of envision it in my head now with the latest, with the Epstein stuff and just the money and power that, all the wise guys will make cracks about. It's like, don't you get it? Like, you will never get access to any of this. You'll never get access to their life. You'll never get access to their technology. You'll never get access to any of it. So you'll be stuck down here with the rest of us making wise guy cracks and playing politics, thinking that you got one over. Like, that's the joke. Like, you're actually the joke. You think you're the joker, but you're actually the joke. And so the way I kind of envision it in my head, it's like, it's almost like part of it in an innocent way is kind of like the movie Dazed and Confused, where it's like, here's the young freshman and he gets to see kind of, the senior lifestyle and what they're into. And then maybe the more applicable example would be like Eyes Wide Shut, where the good doctor ends up at the cult party, with the orgies and the human sacrifice and everything else. There was actually a tamed down version of it. But it's like that's what you're not getting access to. It's like that's what we're getting this temporary view into. It's like that's what we're getting this keyhole view into with a lot of things. But obviously right now it's all surrounding the Epstein files and everything that's going to come out. And we've already had enough hints and clues from the people that have seen it and the stuff that is available, and more is coming out, and not even half of it is out yet. But we already pretty much know what's going on. And again, you can deny it and you can make your jokes and think that you got it all figured out and everyone's crazy. I don't care. I really don't care. Because deep down in your soul, something is off, and you can deny it and try to live comfortably with everything. But I just don't care. I'm not here to deal with whatever mindset you're in right now. But that's what it is, guys. There is obviously, call it whatever you want. I really don't care. Call it the cliche, call it the Illuminati, call it a secret society, call it a breakaway civilization. Like, you understand, there is an entire world out there that you have no clue about. And this is like you're getting a little of its essence. It's like you can comprehend it. You can kind of see it. Like, we all know it. Cloning, human sacrifice, baby farms, satanic networks, sex trafficking networks. I mean, all this stuff. It's like they're giving you the map. It's like they're giving you the map right now. It's like you're seeing the map right now. So you can be in denial of it. I really don't care. You can think it's a political game. You can play politics with it. You can play cult of personality with it. I don't care. This is what's going on. And
I feel the same way. It's like sometimes I think, and this is just my opinion, sometimes I think what's going on underneath the surface is so evil, so terrible, but yet it's holding up the life we know in terms of the economy, the Dow, right? It's holding it all up because these people they're in, like he said, we're seeing a keyhole version of it. We can almost not fathom what they're doing because it's not our life. We're not part of the club. We have no access to it. But if it gets torn down, how does that affect the surface where we live? And I think maybe that's why a lot of the people do what they do, because they don't even know how to kind of like start pulling the thread apart. You pull on one thread and it just keeps going and it's going to unravel. Same reason why Tim Dillon said, the people in Aspen are like, They're thinking, I don't want to know. It's like people whose 401ks were invested in Pfizer during COVID. They didn't want to know that the shot was killing people because they're getting dividends from that. That's their retirement. We saw that a lot with the boomer generation, right? As long as their retirements are booming, then they're happy, right? The thing is, if you've got a lot of generations below that now who aren't benefiting from it, they're not benefiting from it. And I'll tell you, Gen Z knows a lot more than people are giving them credit for. They don't have the $1 million houses. They have $1 million price tag and a 5.6 interest rate to try to get into $1 million house. And there's not really a job to get them there. So they want to pull the thread. So anyway, I can sympathize with that. But listen, here's a great example of what I'm talking about here. We're not in the club. We're not in the club. Let's go to the clip. Let's go straight to the clip and then we'll talk about it because I know we only have a few minutes left before break.
Okay, I'm going to make this quick because I have to go into a meeting. I have 3 meetings today. I have been in the corporate life for almost half my life. For context, I'm 40 years old. I have 2 children who are 11 and 7. And I fell for it. I fell for this thing where, go to college, get your degree. If you want to have kids, you can do it all. You can have a career, you can have kids, you can just do everything. Well, I don't want to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I fell for that shit. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for that shit. I want to take my kids to school. I want to pick them up from school. I want to be there when they get home. I want to chaperone for them, volunteer at school. I just want to go to the gym, clean my house, do laundry, go to the grocery store, and just be home. So do me a favor. Do not fall for that shit because it is not worth it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't do it. Be home, find a way to be home, be with your family, be with your kids. Just, it's not worth it. None of this is worth it. So.
All the fakeness and everything tricked a whole bunch of generations into that type of lifestyle. You can do everything, ladies. You can do everything. Listen, I am on the other side of that. And I lived it. So I know precisely what the right decision was. When we come back, I want to talk about it. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Share it with a friend. Naturally Inspired Radio. Search us up. Smash the like button, the follow button, whatever the buttons are on that. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and share at Naturally Inspired Radio. And listen, stay tuned because coming up, I have a health topic for you that I think you're going to find really, really interesting. And I've got a great deal for you on blood sugar control and so many real solutions for health. So stay tuned. We'll get to the health topic in just a minute. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Okay, so that last video I played for you really struck me. It really struck me because I'm on the end of that now. So I did the right thing, right? I didn't get sucked into the corporate world. I didn't fall for it. I did not fall for it. I followed my heart when it came to my kids. And now my kids are 20 and 22, and I can tell you, I do not regret it. I am so grateful I am so grateful. I cannot even express the amount of gratitude I have for my husband allowing me to raise my children. They're perfect to me. They may not be perfect to everybody else, and they're not perfect people, but like, man, they turned out like they're just such good people to me. They are perfect. And I know they wouldn't be that way if we hadn't dedicated ourselves to making them the priority. And watching this woman realize at 40, not that it's too late, she should quit tomorrow, that she got sucked in. She got sucked in. This is what I'm talking about. They don't care. They're happy you're grinding it out in the corporate world, both you and your husband. They're happy. You're distracted. You don't got time for nothing. You don't have time to even raise your kids. In fact, the school system will take that over for you. And they're happy to do it. They're happy to do that for you. You know why? Because they can indoctrinate your child into gender dysphoria, confusion, things that don't matter, politics, whatever. More distracted citizens. Great. Perfect. We can keep doing what we're doing here behind the scenes in our pedophile baby eating cult. Really, what our superpower is our bond, right? Our bond within our families, the love for our children. They don't like that because you're going to go a long way for that. The more detached you are from your children, the better. So she's absolutely right. Don't fall for it. It's not worth the second car. It's not worth the bigger house. It's not worth the 4th Disneyland vacation. I didn't have any of that. And guess what? I started a career for myself 5 years ago. Got serious about it probably 3 years ago. When my kids were grown, had driver's licenses, figured out they didn't need me anymore as much as they used to. I didn't need to chaperone the field trips and all that stuff as much as I did when they were little. I knew, okay, now I can do something that's my own. And if you are raising your kids right now and you're stuck in this corporate model like she described, I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. You will not regret it. Do it. This is your sign. Do it. Bring them home. Bring them home because you have no idea what they are teaching your children. And the more we tap out of the system, the better off we're going to be. That's how we shape culture, right? I think homeschooling is now up to like 19% or something in some states. Like it is getting high. You know why? You don't want these freak shows teaching your children. It's not as hard as you're making it out to be in your mind. I remember making the choice to change to homeschool. I was so afraid. Oh my gosh, I suck at math. I'm not going to be able to teach math. What about biology? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I know. Do it. Nothing you fall short on is going to make an impact, as much of an impact as gender dysphoria would on your kid's life, right? Who cares? When they figure out what they want to do, what they're interested in, they will get the skill set. They will chase the skill set. They will go after it. You don't need to be perfect at math. You don't need to be perfect at biology. You need to be the one that is the role model for your kid. If you farm that out to someone else, you have no idea what you're going to get back. Very much a part of the culture, right? Send your kids off. Be distracted, be distracted, be distracted. Guess what happened when we were distracted? There's a globalist, baby-eating pedophile cult that runs the world. And when I say, as we move into the digital revolution, that we need to turn into our higher faculties, this is what I'm talking about, right? Teaching our kids higher faculties, discernment, creativity, memory, empathy, intuition. Those are the things that our kids need in the future. And we're really the only ones equipped to teach them that. All right. Today's American culture moment is about the Americana moment is about self-reliance. And I picked this topic because I think we are so consumed and have been consumed by, two-party politics and my team versus your team. And really what's more American rather than my team versus your team is self-reliance. That's built into the fabric of American culture. So it's not wait and see what my political party is doing to figure out how I feel or what I should do next. What are you going to do, right? What are we going to do as individuals? Because this is a core pillar of American culture. I know there's a whole thing and people want you to think that you don't have any culture here, but you absolutely do. And it's the best in the world. A core pillar of your culture is self-reliance. The frontier required it. America was built by people who had to solve problems without help. No nearby government, no safety nets, no instant rescue. If you didn't fix it, if you didn't build it, if you didn't grow it, or you didn't defend it yourself, you didn't survive. And that frontier mindset never has left the culture. Now, we've gotten a little addicted to convenience, that's for sure. But we should never forget how much power we have in our numbers with the actions we take every single day. Land ownership equals independence. Unlike many nations rooted in feudal systems, America tied freedom to owning land. Land meant food, shelter, income, and autonomy. Self-reliance wasn't a personality trait. It was a survival strategy. Number 3, suspicion of centralized power. This is in your veins, people. Suspicion of centralized power. From the beginning, Americans were wary of authority telling them how to live. Self-reliance became a cultural counterbalance to tyranny. I can take care of myself, therefore I don't need control over me. Also, the entrepreneurial spirit. Listen, I listened to this lady, and I understand that money is a big factor, right? Listening to this lady here. Trust me, it's not easy doing things on one income. Right? But there's an entrepreneurial spirit in America as well. I can't think of a time when our kids were small that we didn't have some kind of side hustle, whether it was cleaning banks at night or, delivering papers even at times, going way back here. We did all kinds of things to hold down the fort, so to speak. And I don't regret a single one of them. I don't regret a single one of them. That's the American way. It's American hustle, right? Get it done. Find a way. It's more important. So starting something from nothing is celebrated in America, from farms to garages to small businesses. The idea that one person can create value is deeply tied to your self-reliance and your personal responsibility. Why do you think they want to kill small business? Because that is the fabric of America. Always has been, actually. Always has been. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be back in a minute.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations? much of it being imported or processed with additives. Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
I want to read you this. Hi, Tammy. I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for the one-on-one health assessment. I finally feel confident enough in myself to not be a slave to the allopathic system. Not only did you give me some great suggestions, but you also took a huge weight off my shoulders. You spent more time talking with me about my health history and my former and current lifestyle than anyone in the allopathic, quote, healthcare system ever has. I no longer have fear attached to the upcoming changes in my body, almost 50, because of the way you explained it. You are a wealth of information, and I genuinely love the cut of your jib. Thank you for eliminating worry and inspiring confidence in me. I'm so grateful for you and all you do. That's from one of our community members, Kelly, and she also happens to be a big Tim Dillon fan, which I love. Shout out to Kelly. Thank you so much, Kelly, for taking the time to write that testimonial to me. It means more than anything. You know, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that people have claimed their power back and that they're getting better results with this. Is what this is all about, shaping culture around health in our country. And it's so important. I mean, you go from being fearful to being empowered, because when you understand your body, you'll understand you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. So join us in the Naturally Inspired community like Kelly did. We have huge deals in our monthly flip book at naturallyinspiredstore.com. You can still get all of these. I think we have over 23 different buy one, get one free products right now. So these are very affordable. Cost is not an issue here. We have huge deals in the monthly flip book. So check them out at naturallyinspiredstore.com. And shout out to Kelly. Thanks so much, Kelly. Thank you for sending that in. Okay, let's get to some news stories, because I got a lot to cover here in the next half hour. Rand Paul. So let's head up this. Rand Paul has introduced a bill, everybody. A bill to amend the Public Health Service Act to end the liability shield for vaccine manufacturers and for other purposes. So, you know, this issue has been brought up before, but I have a feeling the timing is right, everybody. I feel that. So what is this? Well, in 1986, there was a little deal called the Act that was cut. We can thank Ronald Reagan for that. Unfortunately, one of the things he did, which I don't know if he just didn't have the foresight or what. But what happened here is there was a deal cut where vaccine manufacturers came to the government and said, listen, we're not going to make vaccines anymore unless you give us indemnity. So nobody can sue us for vaccines. And so this deal was cut where they developed a vaccine court. So if you had an injury from a vaccine, very limited recognition. They came up with a specific table that said, okay, we'll pay out this much money for shoulder pain, or, you know, they would only acknowledge by table, their literal table from the vaccine court, that your injury had to match up with this table in order for them to pay out anything. And they took a few nickels from every vaccine and they put it into this fund. And it caps out at $250,000. So that's not very much for someone with autism, right? Of course, they just continued to deny that vaccines had any correlation or, any link to vaccines at all. That autism was not linked to vaccines. They just kept gaslighting people on most vaccine injuries. Turns out thrombocytopenia is one of them that they do acknowledge. I had no idea. Right? No idea. That's what my son got from a flu shot. They do actually acknowledge that in the vaccine court, but I had no idea there was even a vaccine court. Not that it could have got anybody to admit that that's what caused it, even though it's on the insert of the flu shot. Anyway, this is huge, you guys. This could really change everything, because if vaccine makers now are liable, that's a game changer. That is a game changer. These 74 vaccines that we have, or whatever it is, they're not going to be on the market much longer, especially the ones that don't do anything, like the flu shot, right? So this is incredible news. And thanks to Rand Paul for bringing that forth. I know he's not the first person, but I believe he's the person that could get it passed at the right time. And thanks to the administration that's in there, thanks to Bobby Kennedy, thanks to Trump, thanks to the people that have actually made this a priority. Now, I know that there's going to be an exchange for this. There's going to be an exchange for this because they are taking the reins and have taken the reins off of biotech. So there's going to be a whole other lot of ways that pharmaceutical companies can make money in the near future. I'm not delusional. I know how the game works. It's tit for tat. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. And I think in the future, you're not going to see too many vaccines anymore, but you will see a whole lot of biotech. You're going to see a whole lot of biotech. Okay, moving along here. I want to play this next clip for you. This lady here, well, she's just a peach. I want to introduce you to her. Check her out, and then I'll tell you who she is.
Actually have a beautiful opportunity in front of us, with the United States being such an unmitigated disaster as it currently is. Okay, so there is the opportunity, and within that opportunity, I would suggest three things. The first one, we have to have a global asset registry. We have to know who has the freaking money. And if they don't want you to know that they have the money or how much money they have, chances are they got it from somewhere they shouldn't have gotten it from, and they're spending it on something they shouldn't be spending it from. So number one, a global asset registry. Number two, we have to facilitate an international conversation about what is enough. And that if there is a number that is enough, there is a number that is too much. We believe that money becomes power. And when power threatens your democracy, you have to take away power, and the only way to take away that power is by taking away the money. And the only way to take away the money is taxation. So number three, forget progressivity. All right? Forget progressivity, unless by progressivity you mean taxation that makes people less rich. This is not about a 2% wealth tax when somebody's getting a higher return than that. This is about taxation in order to preserve human freedom.
I feel like she might be the Antichrist, right? Like, what, who thinks like this? Who thinks like this, that you have the right as the government to take away people's money, to make people register a global asset registry? And you know how they'll sell it to you? Oh, it's only for the rich. And then later they'll define rich, anybody who makes over, $100,000 a year. Right? Like, no, thank you, lady. No, thank you. Okay. No, thank you. We are taxed enough. We are taxed enough. So I just, look up who this lady is. Oh, this is Becky Payne. She's an American public policy commentator, author, and progressive strategist. Okay. She works for Patriotic Millionaires Democracy Alliance. Oh, who funds her? Who's her business partner? Oh, George Soros. George Soros is her business partner. She comes from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. I just don't think these people have ever really, grinded it out here in the real world with you and I. I mean, I just, every time we turn around here in Colorado, anyway, somebody's got their hand out for more of our money. Oh, your roof's too old. We can't insure you. Oh, taxes, fees, taxes, fees, taxes, fees, 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 taxes, fees. I don't know. I feel like everybody feels that way in the country. And this lady, can you imagine a global asset registry? You know what that is? That's digital currency, right? That tracks every single penny you touch. Of course, there's be no real penny, of course, but anytime you move money, if you buy something from somebody, if you buy something off Facebook, it's all going to be tracked in the global asset registry, right? That'll be at the top. And then the digital currency, programmable digital currency, that'll be for the plebs. That'll be for you and me. Like, don't fall for it, right? You think, like I said, just go back. Are there any Somalians in jail yet? Hello, hello, hello. Any Somalians in jail? No, there isn't. You know why? Because this was a political thing. It's a political thing. The Democratic Party was using Somalians to probably, allegedly, maybe harvest voters, and also get donations straight from the government, from taxpayer money, right? Because they could get some money, some grants and whatnot to start a new business in America. Forget that an actual American that lives here, get a loan for their business. Have you ever tried to get a loan for your business? Not that easy. Unless, of course, you're Somalian and you can buy votes from people by giving them businesses and, arranging a little deal where they have to donate back to your super PAC or what have you. Then, no, man, you can open up a lot of daycares, right? A lot of daycares. Or in California, you can open up a lot of home health care centers or hospices, apparently. Like 45 of them in a 1-block radius. This goes on everywhere. And they want more taxes from you. They want to track where you're spending your money. Of course, this will all fold into one giant database, right? We're seeing now a lot more initiatives to take health digital, right? Digital doctors, AI doctors. This will all be one centralized system. You've got to be tracked, traced, and surveilled. It all neatly folds into one. And people like Erica here, they're heading the charge. Why? Because they probably own the technology. I mean, isn't it funny how every time, we've got a solution to fix the world. And it just so happens that they have a patent on the thing that's going to fix the world, like Bill Gates. And I see he's in India again, trying to pitch the digital tattoo, right? The quantum tattoo. It never ends. This is business in America. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned. Your health topic is up next.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Schedule your free health assessment with me at naturallyinspiredstore.com. I look forward to sitting down with you, hearing your story, and listening and getting you on the path to optimum health. Really quick, before we go into our health topic, have you guys seen what is going on in Canada? Oh my gosh. I've let it go. You know how they say, let it go, let it go. I've let it go. I let you go. I loved you. I grew up there. I had, all the respect in the world, and I still love the Canadian people. But as far as the Canadian government and all of that stuff goes, I let it go. And so I keep saying that it now when I view the propaganda and stuff coming out of Canada, I just call it SCTV. If you're Canadian, you know SCTV. It was John Candy. It was Eugene Levy. It was all the greats, right? SCTV. It was like Canada's version of SNL. And every time I see one of their things, their videos or their speeches, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks like it's like straight off of SCTV. And this, folks, everybody, this is a commercial in Canada right now. Watch.
Towel on your head, Hamas. It's called a hijab, and it's a part of my religion. Whatever, Hamas. Take that kebab off your head. Why are you going to bully me? Because I secretly admire it, and I think you look beautiful. And that intimidates me, which makes me feel insecure about my own looks. And then I feel bad about myself, and that makes me mad. Yo, that was deep. But you look perfect. Shut up, towelhead. You see, why not say that? Because I'm jealous of your confidence and the courage it takes to wear it. And I envy the deep connection you have with your religion. And since I feel inferior, I take my anger out and project it on you. Wow, thank you so much for opening up to me. But I think you look beautiful the way you are. I can't take a compliment. I hate myself and I have low self-esteem. And I'm gonna rip this thing off your head to make myself feel better. But lucky my dad's here.
Get in the car, ugly. I'm gonna shame you so you grow up even more insecure because I'm a narcissist. And that's how my father raised me.
I'm gonna internalize that and unknowingly transfer that onto you tomorrow.
This is what's going on in Canada, everybody. To say it's insulting to your intelligence is like, I don't know what to say. Like, what fresh hell is this, right? Like, this is normalization of, the Muslim Brotherhood in Canada, bringing the Muslim Brotherhood, trying to normalize it in the West, which it is not conducive with Western values or life or culture or how we do things around here, as I like to say. That's what's going on in Canada. And crazy stuff, propaganda. Okay, let's get to our health topic because we've only got about 10 minutes left, and I want to talk to you about metabolic disease in general. Okay, there's here are some the top 7 metabolic diseases in America, and these are ranked by prevalence and impact with what they do. Okay, so type 2 diabetes is number 1 in metabolic disease in our country. What it does is it cells stop responding to insulin, right? Blood sugar stays chronically high. It damages nerves, kidneys, eyes, heart, and blood vessels. The big picture, it's a disease of energy mismanagement. And I would put number 1 right alongside here of type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, okay? This is when we have trouble getting insulin into the cell. Insulin is the key that unlocks entry for energy to get into the glucose, to get into the cell, to produce ATP that keeps you moving all the time, that keeps you energetic. And when the cell becomes resistant to insulin, it can't get the energy into the cell. Okay. So these two are like, it's insulin resistance first. And if you don't correct it, hear me. If you don't correct insulin resistance, you're going to end up with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. It's not a joke. Your body communicates with you with signals, right? Signals are of insulin resistance, the crash in the afternoon, stubborn weight that you cannot get off, right? It doesn't matter if you're starving or whatever, you cannot get the weight off. Skin tags is a sign of insulin resistance. And the crash in the afternoon, waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because your cortisol is trying to compensate. These are some signs of insulin resistance. So if that sounds like something that pertains to you, you need to get into the Naturally Inspired community so we can help you on your optimum health journey and restore your metabolic health. Number 2, obesity. Obesity is metabolic obesity. So excess energy stored as fat, especially visceral fat, that's belly fat. Fat tissue becomes inflammatory. It disrupts your hormones. Disrupts the leptin that we always talk about, disrupts estrogen, disrupts testosterone, all of those things. Being overweight is not just a weight issue. It's actually a brain issue. It's a brain issue. It's a brain issue. And listen, it's not your fault. The whole system is not set up for you to be successful in your health, as we've discussed at the beginning of this, right? Okay, metabolic syndrome, a cluster of problems occurring together. That means high blood sugar, low HDL, which is good cholesterol, high blood pressure, maybe belly fat. This is a warning label for future diabetes, future heart disease, and future stroke. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's when fat accumulates inside the liver cells. Liver becomes insulin resistance. Glucose regulation worsens. The liver controls your blood sugar. A fatty liver equals broken glucose control. Many people have said, "Oh, I got diagnosed with fatty liver, and I didn't even know what it means." Nobody's even explaining it to you. You just know you have it, and they're not telling you why. Good grief. Get in the Naturally Inspired community so you can learn about this. Cardiovascular disease is metabolic driven. Insulin resistance damages blood vessels. Chronic inflammation stiffens arteries. This is the sticky blood I always talk about. This raises risk of heart attack and stroke. This starts as a metabolic issue. You have several signals happening before you get to a catastrophic event. Please listen. Here's another one that we talked about last week is PCOS. People don't think of that as a metabolic problem. It is. It's insulin resistance, and that drives excess androgens. So disrupts ovulation, menstrual cycles, increases infertility, weight gain. It's impossible to get weight off. They're calling this now diabetes of the ovaries. Diabetes of the ovaries. So it's about balancing your metabolic health. Another one, interesting, this has come up a few times in our community recently, gout. What it is, it's impaired glucose handling, and that raises uric acid. So crystals form in joints, and that causes pain and inflammation. The Cellular Reset is a wonderful product for this, for inflammation. Listen, you've got to get off the fructose if you're dealing with gout. So you got to get off the sugar, man. You got to get off the sugar. How do you get off sugar? You eat high amounts of protein, you eat high amounts of fat, and you learn how to make treats that don't impact your metabolic health in a negative way. That's what I teach in the Naturally Inspired community. So, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, poor energy utilization, mitochondrial stress. It's all from the same root dysfunction of metabolic health. Most chronic diseases in America isn't a lack of medicine problem. It isn't a lack of pharmaceuticals. It's a metabolic overload problem. It's a metabolic overload problem. Listen, you've got to get to root cause. Okay. You've got to get to root cause. And so I did put together a stack pack for you today, blood sugar stack pack. You can get it at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Not only are those great products, they're going to help you with blood sugar, but that gets you into the Naturally Inspired community. That purchase there will get you into the Naturally Inspired community. What happens when you make a purchase? You hit checkout, you make the purchase, you get a email that gives you your receipt. Shortly after that, you're going to get a text from me. It's going to explain to you, welcome to the Naturally Inspired community. You have an option. You can opt in to my words of encouragement that goes out every morning. You can opt in or you don't have to, but a lot of people enjoy it. Helps keep you focused on your optimum health journey. Okay, so you get that. Then on Tuesday nights, you get to join us. You get a Zoom link sent to you where you join us on the weekly wellness workshop. Every week we talk about something different. Sometimes it's recipes. Sometimes it's strategy. Sometimes it's inspiration. Sometimes it's, about a very specific health topic. It's a different topic every week pertaining to your optimum health journey. Okay, very important. You get to attend those just by making a purchase. You get to attend those. And then you get full access to my health text line. So if you are like, okay, I purchased this. Now what do I do? What do I need to do? Book an assessment with me. You can book an assessment, as soon as you want to. You can book an assessment. We can sit down and really plan out the next 90 days. Okay, just let's work in 90-day increments, right? You can give me 90 days. I guarantee I can get you results. Okay. So take part in the blood sugar stack pack at naturallyinspiredstore.com /special. You can get it there. We also have an ebook available for you on blood sugar to understand insulin resistance and metabolic health. It's very, very important that people understand. I talked earlier in the show about identity and how our young people especially are identifying with labels, right? And sometimes even medical diagnosis is the label. And you're not your diagnosis. In fact, I would encourage you to put that out of your head. You are your personality, your character, your belief system, your interests, how you fit into your family, the activities you do. Like, so many different things define you. Choose the positive ones to define yourself. Do not, continue to resonate on things that are pulling you down, including medical diagnoses. They don't define you. They don't define you. And when they do, listen, I can't sugarcoat it for you. If you're going to let your diagnosis define you, then you're going to get more of that. Because that's the filter that you're going through life with. It does not have to be that way. You were wholly made. Your body is not fighting against you. You're not in a battle against your body. Your body is battling to communicate with you. The ball's in your court. Are you going to listen to the communication and respond with a plan and reassurance to your body that you're going to do things differently now? Or are you going to continue to fight against it? Shut it up, right? You can shut it up with pills. You can shut it up with procedures. You can do all that. But as I always say, you're just kicking the can down the road. The farther you kick the can, the harder the return is. It's just my experience. You've been listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you joined me today. I'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, Explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.